Hello traders, this is TAFXs. Welcome to TFX family, and I believe that guys we are doing great. Right, in this video we are going to learn the part 2 of the trailing that we are using, and this is very important in this video because this is the setup that comes by default. When purchasing the system, the setup that comes by default, it is the one that I'm going to share in this video. So I would like you to follow it closely in order to understand this part 2 or the other option of trailing the profit or trailing stop using a Fibonacci retracement. This is gonna blow your mind because this is what I really like and I do like, and this is what we send the system by default. By default, this is what you'll be seeing. So in case you want to play some games on your demo account to see how you can increase or decrease, it is good to follow this video so that you can understand the importance of having the Fibonacci on our system. And I'm going to use a good example for step index and also volatility 100 because one of it has a buy trade, as you can see on your screen. This is a buy trade, and the other one is on a sell trade, so that you can understand the basics when the market is selling and when the market is buying. And don't forget the ongoing offer that for until 1st September is still ongoing, because if you purchase the system from to now and date 1st of September, you'll get 2 licenses, because some people are using 2 different accounts or 2 different brokers, and trust me, you can have a 2 different license or 2 different accounts with additional of 1.5 months. And I said if someone purchased on a weekend, it is 2 months. And if you want the lifetime license, you get 2 license for lifetime and free signal generating a system. So let's jump into it, guys, and see what is happening. It is very simple when using this system. Anything provided in your platform, you can trade it, whether it is Bitcoin, whether it is whatever provided, any symbols provided by your broker on your terminal, whether it's MT4, MT5, this system will trade it. So you don't have to think, oh, does your system only trade currencies and volatilities? No, Bitcoin, anything you want to trade in Forex market, the system is not regulated. The system is universal to help you cover, and the analysis are still the same, because in all Forex, what matters a lot, it is the analysis behind your trading. And the analysis that our system does is full price action and advanced SMC, the combination of that, and by making sure that everything goes perfectly. That's why we added RENKO. So RENKO cannot be dependable alone, whether price action or SMC. If we combine them 3, this is what makes you a millionaire or a profitable trader in Forex market. All right. So now it's very simple, because you just plug or you just attach the RENKO file. All right. The RENKO file template, because when the system comes with a template, so you don't have to set up anything. But this I'm sharing information so that it can help you know what to do on your demo account, because our system are unlimited when it comes to demo accounts. So you just click once, simple as that, and you are good to go. All right. I do believe you have seen. You just do pick a RENKO file template, simple as that, and everything will be alive. So now this is a downtrade. All right. This is a downtrade, and as we can see, we have a sell at this point. Now, this is where now I want you to understand and to follow it closely. We all know when it comes to sell, this is our sell point. Sorry, let me do, yeah. This is our sell brick, because it must close with a magenta brick. So now, when it has closed with first brick with magenta, the second brick now here, it is our entry point. This is a supreme bricks, and now this is a brick that gives us a signal. So the EA will open the signal here automatically. And if you are using the manual one, the signal generating EA, that's when you will receive a signal of sell. Now, in this setup of the one that I do like, the one that I sent even by default, this is where now I want you to get it correctly. This is entry point, right? And I have set, or we set, when level 61 closes your entry point, get that in mind. We want level 61 because this is a sell. Level 61, when level 61 of our Fibonacci, hope you are seeing it correctly. Let me try to zoom. I think it's good. I think you're seeing this is level 61.8 of our Fibonacci. So we want this level when it closes our entry point. The same thing that is here. This is a very good example. We want this system when the level 61 closes our entry point. This our red line here, or can I change the color to white or aqua color? Let's put a color, all right? So this is our entry point. So the moment this level 61 will cross this entry point, I want you to get this line, or our horizontal line, it's our entry point, all right? That is when now we want the system to open a trailing stop at 23, level 23. Can you see the distance? And where the market will be, it will be somewhere here or at this point. So this means that already the stop loss or the trailing stop will be at our entry point automatically when this level 61 closes this. But the difference between this and the previous one, and the reason as to why I love using this, but I'm giving you options, all right, it is because the trailing stop or the trailing profit SL will be at level 23. So you can set it 38 or 23 so that it can continue dropping and trailing the profit. We use trailing because we don't want to exit from the market earlier. We want to bank more money. All right. So this means that we can also set if level 61 or level 61 closes level our entry point, or if level 50, because the one I used most, it's level 50 and 61 because of banking. It's almost the same as the previous one, but this one is very unique. Why? Because this one automatically, if you use, let's say, for example, level 50, if level 50 crosses your entry point, automatically the trailing step will be set at level 23, while the market is at level 0, continue going down, so that we can have a distance at least of this gap, so that we can continue trailing profit instead of exiting the market earlier or early exit. So let me show you how we set that, because it's very, very important for you to see where now the setup are. Now, our previous setups for instant trailing are here. These are instant trailing, or the trailing that helps you to set the stop loss at your entry point. It is very, very important to understand this. Now, from there, we want now to see the trailing step options that we want to trail about. If you check it here, you'll find we have the Fimbo trailing trigger amount. Forget about that. But we have also, because this one, it's very, very important also of the trailing multiplier, not the trigger money. I think the trigger money was for here. But now I want you to check these Fimbo trailing start buy, Fimbo trailing stop, sell, buys, sorry, all right? Now, we have the sell because we want to set now the setup here. We have Fimbo start for sale, all right? Fimbo trailing start for sale. We set, let's say, for example, because I want you to understand this setup correctly. Now, let's come to this level first. We have reverse Fibonacci trailing or trigger buy, and we have reverse Fibonacci trailing trigger sell. I want you to understand about this level. In order for you to understand what we are going to set up here, you must understand what are these trigger buy, trailing trigger buy, and trailing trigger sell. These ones are the levels, all right? These ones are the levels that, let's say, for example, here we are talking about sell. When we set here 0, because as you can see by default, it's level 0. The level 0 is this one. We want the EA to activate the trailing when the market is at level 0. This is what I want you to understand. So if the market is at level 0, for instance, and we have set our sell here, sell start, all right? Trailing start is very important. We have set the trailing start of 61.8 or 50. Let us set 50, all right? 50.0 as our trailing start. And our trailing stop, we want to set it here at level 23. For instance, we want to set level 23.6. So our trailing start, it's at level 50, all right? And our trailing stop is at level 23.6, all right? And our Fibonacci trigger sell level, it's at level 0. Now, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of that, it tells you that if the market is at level 0, this is our level 0, and the market has closed our entry, the Fibonacci has closed our entry point with level 50, the same thing you are seeing here because level 50 is already here. All right, we want the market to give us a trailing stop at 23 level. So all the way from 23 now, going back to our entry point, these are profit. I want you to understand this correctly, the meaning of this setup. If we set here 0, the trigger sell 0 here, we command the EA that it can only open the trailing stop and the trailing step if the market is at level 0 and it has crossed our entry point, the level 50 of the Fibonacci, it has closed our entry point. And because now we want to bank good money and we want now to be safe and guaranteed, that's why our profit SL, whereby it is a trailing stop, should be at level 23. So in case if this market can reverse from level 0 going back, it will hit our trailing stop at this point and will be in a good profit. And in case if this market will continue going down, the gap, it will maintain the same gap from level 0 to level 23. So the moment the market is going down, the trailing, it will continue trailing stop, or it will continue following the market with a gap of equivalent with this gap of from 20 to 23. So the small gap, it will go down, the trailing step will continue following the market. That is the work of trailing stop. All right, trailing stop means it will be trailing, or it will be trailing profit. So whenever market moves even a single pips, it will add a 1 pip here. If it goes 2 pip, it will continue adding pips according to the where the market is going. And in case of the market going back, then it will bank a good money. That is the important thing to understand, because that's why we trail profit instead of exiting from the market earlier. I think if I give another example of a buy, you will get it right now. So let's go back here to our volatility and see when it comes to a buy options. Now, at this point, we can see again, this is a buy trade. And I want to bring my horizontal line here as our entry point, all right? And the same thing we are doing here. We can also set the level 50, all right? The level 50, because it is in the middle of everything here, all right? So this is our entry point with this our aqua horizontal line. That is our entry point. All right. So this being our entry point, we all know that now this is by this brick. This is when you receive entry or signal if you are using our signal generating system. And if it is a RENKO sniper, automatically it will pick the trade. Automatically it will pick the trade. Now, let's follow the same procedure that we have seen on our sell. The level 50, it has closed our entry point. So this means we are expecting now the EA to bring the stop loss here, or the trailing start should be there. But it cannot do that because now this is a buy, because now we are focusing with either level 261 or level 161.8. All right. So let's set up it so that you can understand it correctly. So let's double click here to our EA here. Sorry, let us bring this back again. Our entry point. Let's go back to our EA. We want to bring now a buy level. A buy level, here we are. Now, we have a trailing start for a buy, all right, and trailing step. Now, if we drop here, we have also a Fimbo trail trigger buy. This is very, very important. Now here, we set 261. If the market gets into 261, all right, and we want the trailing start, all right, the trailing start should be, let's say, level 50, and the trailing step should be, let's say, 100, all right, 100, yeah, something like that. So this means when the market reaches into level 261, where the market is now, then the EA will bring our trailing stop, all right, at level 100 here. And this is after trailing start, level 50, where is it? Level 50, it has crossed our entry point. This is our entry point. And this being our entry point, because this is where our line is, let's assume by then the market, the level 50 was here. When the market was moving up, then the level 50 closed our entry point, and where now it is from there. So the trailing stop, whereby it is our trailing profit, it will be brought automatically by the EA at level 100. And this setups works even in our manual, because in our manual you only take trades manually, but other stuffs, the control of trades, that is the work of the system. That's why it's a signal generating EA. It is not just a signal to be generated and then you struggle to set profit or blah 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 blah. Nothing like that. All right, everything will be done by the EA. The only thing we do with our signal generating system, it is to take the trades manually. The other stuffs, or the EA will take care of trades. So let's get back into this point in order for you to understand the meaning of trailing stop and trailing start. The trailing start, it means here the market must cross, or this level 50 must cross our entry point, and the market must be on, where is this, our trigger? The market must be on level 261. All right, market must be on a level 261, and the level 50 of the Fibonacci must cross our entry point so that we can bank at level 100, this one here. 100 is our trailing stop, so it will set a stop loss here, or a trailing stop, or a trailing profit, or trailing SL. It determined with the language that you understand, but that means all the way from here to here you are now safe and ready to bank a good money in case if this market will go down. So if this market goes down, then this means it will hit your stop loss, but you won't be in a loss, but it will be in a good profit. And this sometimes happens that you can bank a lot of money because the market can continue going up without looking down. And then from there, you can have a good money than exiting from the market or early exit. Instead of using early exit, it is good also to have it on board. I will lead you in a lot of things here that will blow your mind on how we set up our take profits, all right? And what if the market can go to somewhere here and then reverse? Oh my, it will continue trailing because after opening price, after setting our stop loss here, any movement that market will go, even if it is 1 pip, it will continue trailing with that 1 pip because it must maintain the same gap. It must maintain the same gap. Now, let's say, for example, someone can say, oh, I can see from level 261 to 100, it is too big. I would like, if the market is as 251, I would like the trailing stop to be at 161. So let's do that in order for you to understand more on how you can do that. Now, one thing, the trailing Fimbo must remain at 261, all right? Trigger buy. Now here, we want the market to set a trailing stop at 161. You just set the trailing stop at 161, all right? And trailing start can remain that. This does not mean that the market must reach into level 261. This means you can increase. If I double click here, you can see you can increase or decrease. All right. So this tells us also, if we want, let's say, for example, the market is at this point, let's say, for example, like you want the market, maybe it is at this point, and maybe you want the trailing start when the market crosses your entry point with level, let's say 60, 68, all right, then you want the trailing stop to be here. It is simple. You can do that. But my advice, and by default, the way it comes with the level 261 and the level 0 because we want to bank a good money. And these are not only the target. This is one of the target that comes by default. I will be taking you through so that you can understand more, but you don't have to worry about that. But you can play that game on your demo account. So mine here, it is to share information that you can do some changes. It's not a must to say that you want only level 50 when the level 50 has crossed your entry point. You can set even if it is 68. That is according to you. The market can be in 261, and let's say, for example, we want to set the market to be in 261 because it is good to use 261, and you want the level 68 if it is above your entry point, all right? If it is above your entry point, you want the EA to bring the stop loss or the trailing stop at 161. It is very simple. Let's do that. We want to say, let this remain by default, please. Let this remain by default so that we can play game with the middle ones, all right? Now we want the market, if it is at level 61 and level 61, it is above our entry point, or it has already closed our entry point. We want the trailing stop to be at level 61. You can see we can set that 161. Perfect. So by setting that, it tells us as long as the market is at 261 and our entry point of 61.8, it is above our entry point, or it has closed our entry point, then the trailing stop automatically it will come at our 161. So all this, it's a banking. If the entry point was here, then all this from here to here, this is a banking. Hope you are getting the point. It's very, very interesting because this is one of the setup that comes with the system by default. Good to understand that. Let's go back to our cell here and again see if we can do some changes, not only to rely on level 50. It is the same thing as this is our entry point, all right? And we want the market, if level 61, you can see the level 61, it is still above our entry point. So this means the market cannot set our trailing start. It must wait the level 61.8 of a Fibonacci to cross our entry point, because if it is a sell, it must cross, and crossing means it must be below our entry point. If it is a buy, it must be above our entry point. So since this one now it is a sell, it must be below our entry point. And this tells you if now the level 61 closes our entry point, or it's below now our entry point, we want the EA automatically to bring the trailing stop at level 23. All right. So let's do that on our setup so that you can understand it correctly. So it is very simple. Let's do this. We want the market here must remain by default, right? It must remain by default to level 0. Now we are at trailing start and trailing stop. The trailing stop now here, we want the trailing stop to be at level 23. And we want the trailing start is level 61.8. So that is what we are talking about. We want now, all right, we want now, if now the level 61 will cross or will be below now our entry point, and the market is at level 0, we want the trailing stop to be at our level 23.6. This stop loss or trailing stop that is here, it is to bank the money all the way from our entry point to where the market is, so that if the market can continue going down, even if it will start dropping with 1 pip, it will continue trailing with that same pips at this point, so that when the market goes up, here it is where the EA will bank the money automatically. Oh my, I hope that in that simplicity, you can review this video and understand the importance of this setup of trailing step. It's different with the previous one because, and this one, it is what comes with the system by default. By getting these guys, you'll build confidence that the ways of banking, it is not stress, it is now or never. All right, it is now or never. And that's how we bank money with all dimension, and that's how part of how we protect our account. I wish you can get this system immediately, even today, and start banking. Oh my, thank you so much guys, and once again welcome to TFX family. Thank you.